All right, if you're a level 6 project controls apprentice, you know all about skill S7, leading the baseline strategy. Now that sounds like a massive responsibility, and you know what? It is. But don't worry, because over the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly how you can absolutely master it.
So let's meet Jody. She's a level 6 apprentice at a company called Ibis Stores, and her manager, Riddle, just dropped this huge task on her desk. And her question, we've all been there, right? Where do I even start? This isn't just about making a plan, it's about leading a whole strategy. Let's walk through how to get from that feeling of confusion to total confidence.
So Jody does the smart thing. She goes to talk to her mentor, Adam, and he tells her, look, to really get a handle on skill 7, you first have to understand what a baseline strategy actually is. And honestly, his explanation is a complete game changer for her.
Okay, so Adam starts with the fundamentals. He says the control baseline is basically the project's master plan. It's the one place that brings everything together. The what, the when, the how much, and the what ifs. Scope, schedule, cost, and risk. It is the single source of truth that you measure absolutely everything against. But then, he takes it one giant step further.
And here it is. This is the moment that changes Jody's whole perspective. Adam tells her to stop thinking about the baseline as just some static document. He says, think of it as the project's DNA. It has the fundamental code that dictates everything about how the project is going to grow, how it functions, and its overall health. And if you get that code wrong, the entire project is in jeopardy.
What Adam's really getting at here is that Jody's manager, Riddle, wasn't asking her to just be a technician, plugging numbers into a spreadsheet. Skill S7 is about being a leader. It's about strategic thinking, about integrating all the different moving parts of a project, and, this is a big one, having the guts to challenge inputs that just don't feel right or don't align with the project's DNA. That's the real difference.
So Jody totally gets it now, but she's like, okay, that's great in theory, but what do I actually do? So Adam lays out this simple but really powerful 5-step framework to guide her. And this isn't just theory, this is a real-world action plan for leading a baseline strategy. So here it is, Adam's 5-step framework. First, you have to understand the purpose, really get why. This is the bedrock of your whole project. Second, you define the strategy. These are the rules of the road for how everything's going to fit together. Third, and you got to pay close attention here, is alignment. This means using consistent coding structures to link your costs directly to your schedule. Think of it like a unique ID tag for every single task. Fourth, you integrate risk, because you need your plan to be grounded in reality, not fantasy. And finally, step 5, you protect its integrity with super clear rules for any changes.
All right, so Jody is armed with this framework, and she heads back to her marketing campaign project. She's feeling ready to put this theory into practice, and almost immediately, she spots a huge problem.
So here's what Jody finds. The marketing team's plan for spending money is totally out of sync with the actual project schedule. Look at this. They're planning to spend most of their budget in month 2, but the really big activities don't even kick off until month 3. The project's DNA is fundamentally flawed.
Jody immediately zeroes in on step 3 from Adam's framework, ensure alignment. She gets the teams together and works with them to apply a common coding structure to both the schedule activities and the cost plan. And just like that, everything clicks. It all slots into place. Now, when a task moves in the schedule, the money associated with it moves too. She's created a single, reliable source of truth. This is skill S7 in action.
Now, Jody solved the problem, which is awesome, but her journey isn't over yet. Now she has to actually prove she did it for her apprenticeship. So she meets up with her coach, Olivia, to figure out how to turn this whole experience into rock-solid evidence for her portfolio, for Aptum and for her endpoint assessment.
Olivia makes it super clear. She explains that for assessors, just handing them a baseline document is not going to cut it. They're looking for proof of your leadership, things like your reflective statements on the strategy, the governance rules you actually wrote, and feedback from stakeholders. That's the stuff that proves you were leading the charge, not just ticking a box. Next, Olivia preps Jody for that big professional discussion with the kinds of questions she's definitely going to face. Questions like, so how did you define the baseline strategy for your project? Or describe a time you actually had to challenge inputs to protect the baseline. Do you see the pattern? They all focus on the how and the why. They're testing your leadership, not just your tech skills.
And this, right here, is Olivia's single most important piece of advice. Your evidence portfolio isn't just a list of tasks you completed, it's a story. It's the story of a problem you found, a strategy you came up with, and the leadership you showed to make it happen. You have to be the narrator of your own success story.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. It's pretty much the ultimate test of skill S7. A massive change is requested. Your team is eager to move on it, but your baseline, your project's DNA says no. The test isn't about just saying no. It's about leading that difficult conversation forward without shattering the integrity of your project. So, as a leader, what would you do?